Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We are talking Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. May 17th. I'm going to have four official Dong predictions for you guys to lock in for today's MLB betting slate. Going to go through my notes at the end as well. There's a couple guys, stinky odds. I couldn't quite decide on a stinky odds Dong Robin, so we'll see how I end up playing that. But I am very confident in the four plays that I have for today. Before we can get into those picks, we do have to do a recap from yesterday, which I played it a little bit wonky. It ended up being a profitable day overall, and that's really all that matters here. The two quarter unit long shot plays did not come through. Nolan Jones and CJ Abrams, they did not hit a home run. Spraying the board with the three guys on the Reds did end up working out because Will Benson hit a home run. Now, he was the one with the highest odds. He was also the one that I said I liked the best, so I probably just should have gone with him, but he did hit a home run. And then the stinky odds Dong Robin did end up with some profit yesterday. This includes the actual round robin that we placed, and it includes the four-leg parlay, which lost. So all in all, the round robin plus parlay was up 0.45 units, and then we were up, again, the 0.63 units from the Will Benson home run. All in all, yesterday, we were up just under 0.4 units. Not the most profitable day you've ever seen in your entire life, but it was at least a day in which we made money. Now, if you just played a 1 unit on all these straight up and you didn't mess with what I did, you actually were better off yesterday because of the Pete Crow, Armstrong, Ohtani, and then such high odds at Will Benson. But if you followed my unit size guiding, you're up a little bit under 5 units on the entire season. All in all, not so bad. Up a little bit under 10% ROI as well. Now, I spent a ton of time trying to figure out the best strategy. I think, I sometimes start to scramble and all that stuff can get pretty frustrating, but I do think that got in a good headspace. I shaved my hair. As you can tell, maybe that was part of the problem. The hair was getting too long, was messing with my thought process. But I do really like the 4 plays that we have today, and then I'll let you know who I'm thinking about for the stinky odds Dong Robin, but I haven't officially done that yet. Another really, really good day, from a weather perspective per ballpark pal here, their park factors. Great American Small Park, amazing. Phillies Stadium, amazing. Yankee Stadium, amazing. Wrigley Field, amazing. And then a gross one, who I do have a player that I like in this gross game, but I didn't officially go with them. And then some neutral games here as well. But we'll start with my favorite play of the day. Very, very stinky odds, but I did just take this one straight up as opposed to putting it in a stinky odds round robin. Give me Kyle Schwarber to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 220 odds at FanDuel. I guess you can get plus 250 at whatever book that is, plus 235 at Profit. So if you want to go fishing on Profit, you can get a better price. But this actually, even at the gross odds of plus 220, was still positive expected value. It was like 8% EV according to OddsJam. It was positive EV from a line shopping perspective according to Tails. OddsShopper, which is what this account is where I send all my plays out. And the reason for that is all the legitimate sports books, DraftKings, Caesars, Fanatics, they all have him below plus 200, and then we're getting plus 220 at FanDuel. And I guess at ESPN Bet as well, and that just moved up. Now, the thing with Schwarber, he's 1 home run away from a milestone, which is not the reason why I'm taking him today. The reason why I'm taking him today is because he had 2 hits yesterday above 100 miles an hour, and he had the hardest hit of the day yesterday, 405 feet, 104.7 miles per hour off the bat, 29-degree launch angle. That's exactly what you want in every facet of the game. It's picture perfect for a home run. He just hit it to dead center field, and it was actually robbed by the center fielder. If the center fielder wasn't there, it would have gone over the fence. Now it's a tiny right field wall, so he didn't do some miraculous catch, but it still would have been a home run if the center fielder wasn't there. And then he had another hit. It was a ground out, so nothing that spectacular, but it was still above 100 miles an hour, which is kind of what you're looking for, someone just to smack around the baseball. So it's a batter in Schwarber who's hitting well. He just hit a home run a couple days ago in the doubleheader. And the pitcher he's going up against, Carmen Malinsky, is not terrible. He's not somebody that is really that scary either. He's given up equal home runs to righties and lefties. His numbers are pretty equal. He gives up a little bit more power to lefties. As you can see, that slugging is higher, but the average is higher against righties. Again, not an amazing pitcher, not really anybody to be scared off of either. The ground ball rate is pretty high against righties. It's pretty low against lefties, only 30%. But the pull rate is higher against righties, and the hard hit rate is higher. So, like, depending on kind of where you look, he's better in some matchups, worse in others. From a barrel rate perspective, 8.1% is not terrible, slightly below average. 43 about percent hard hit rate, again, is not that great. 53 hard hits allowed in however many innings / games he's pitched. And it's a good advantage for Schwarber, right? +9 extreme advantage for Kyle Schwarber, according to Ballpark Pal. From a release perspective, A- and A+. So that's pretty good. You can kind of go through it. These two haven't seen each other before, so really no history. But the biggest thing here is that four-seam fastball Kyle Schwarber annihilates. Not a great pitch from Malinsky, and he throws it over 40% of the time. And then you look at his stuff plus, because I do kind of want to show you multiple metrics. Guess what? That four-seam fastball is below average. 100 is average, below 100, obviously below average. His is rated a 90, so that kind of matches up with what Ballpark Pal is telling you as well. So Kyle Schwarber, after getting robbed yesterday, I think he's going to hit one into the stands today. Plus 220 is admittedly grosser than what I normally play, but again, that is still positive EV from a line perspective. And I did up my unit size on this one as well. I put a half unit on him to profit a little bit over a unit as opposed to the normal unit size that I play. But I am very confident that Kyle Schwarber is going to come through for us with a home run. If he does, we make money. That's all that matters. Next up, I'm taking Wilyer Abreu to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 370 odds at FanDuel. This is another play that is pretty highly positive EV from a line shopping perspective, plus 370 on FanDuel. And I don't know what this Mickey Mouse book looks like, but you look at literally every other book, 322, basically 300, 300, 300, 290, and then the rest of them like 275, 270. Really good price on FanDuel just from a line shopping perspective. One of the highest positive EV plays of the day, 8.5% positive EV, again, just from a strictly line shopping perspective. And Wilyer Abreu came up on a lot of different sources that I look at to kind of determine if the batter is swinging a hot bat or not. And what they are is hits above 100 miles an hour. Wilyer Abreu has 17. That's tied with a couple guys for the third most. We're talking hot hitters. Let me zoom in here. This is pretty hard to see. We're talking hot hitters, and I don't mean hot as in are they handsome or not. I mean hot as in are they swinging a hot bat. Wilyer Abreu has 16, and what? That's in the top 7 or so. So that's 2. Hits above 100 miles an hour. Hard hit, line drive, plus fly balls. I call those dong predictors. And then total barrels. Just like how many times are you barreling up the bat? He's got 7 over the last 2 weeks, which was kind of my cutoff. Now, 15 guys have 7. So if you want to cut it off at 8, he doesn't quite hit that. But I cut it off at 7. And that's really good. He's one of 3 batters that are in the top 15, top 10 in all 3 of these categories. It's Shohei Ohtani, who, hey, turns out Shohei Ohtani is really good. And it's actually James Wood as well. Now, Wood, I can't seem to get him on the right day. When I go with Wood, it's Abrams. When I go with Abrams, it's Wood. But he also does fit that metric. So that's really good for Wilyer Abreu. And the pitcher he's going up against, Grant Holmes, I will admit, Grant Holmes is worse against right-handed hitters than he is against lefties. Wilyer Abreu annihilates right-handed pitching. I mean, all of his home runs are hit against righties. And Grant Holmes also isn't a good pitcher. He's not anybody to be scared off of. His home run per 9 is a pretty gross 1.77. His barrel rate allowed is a very, very gross 13.3%. 45% hard hit rate, 54 hard hits. Launch angle is a little bit low. You'd hope that launch angle was a little bit higher. And you can kind of tell by that ground ball rate is 47%. We were hoping that's a little bit closer to 40%. You look at his splits, he has given up more home runs to right-handed hitters. So again, he is technically worse against righties. So if there's some righties like Alex Bregman, Rafaela, I don't even know how to pronounce the guy's first name on the Red Sox. He's been swinging a hot bat, just can't get one to leave the clear fence. And then, yeah, the ground ball rate is higher than you would like against lefties, but that pull rate is also up. But this is just backing Abreu, who, like I said, swinging an incredibly hot bat by those 3 metrics, which are pretty evident in terms of predicting home runs. Like how often are you hitting the ball 100 miles an hour? How often are you hitting the ball hard in the air? And how often are you barreling it up? Now, obviously, those 3 numbers are somewhat correlated, but it also does kind of show you he's one of only 3 guys in the top 10, top 15 of all 3 of those categories, along with, again, Ohtani and Wood, who 2 incredibly hot batters at the plate. And then his fly ball rate is 57% on these hits above 100 miles an hour. Like, that's insane. That's exactly what you're looking for, hitting the ball hard and putting the ball in the air, again, as evidenced by the hard hit, line drive, plus fly balls. So he, again, was offered at plus 370. I put 0.3 units on him to hit a home run, so I did up that unit size a little bit for him as well. I promise the other 2 are both quarter unit plays. But yeah, that's play number 2, Wilyer Abreu to hit a home run. Play number 3 is a guy I refuse to get one day lated by, CJ Abrams. I am taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 450 odds at Bet365. If you don't use Bet365, you can get him at plus 430 at FanDuel. Bet365, their odds don't pull with this software I use, so I kind of just make a note. The best offered price here is actually in Bet365. Now, this is not positive EV from a line shopping perspective, but it is positive EV from a Ballpark Pal perspective, who has him best off, or has his true odds at plus 385. Looks like FanDuel actually upped it to 440, and then you can get that plus 450 at Bet365. So it is positive expected value from one of the 2 ways I kind of look at it. And looking at CJ Abrams, so I went with him yesterday. He did not hit a home run. He didn't have an amazing day at the plate, but he did kind of salvage it with his last at-bat. You look at just the hits in terms of distance. The 5th highest, or he had the hit that was hit the 5th farthest in the game. There we go. That's how you phrase that. 374 feet. Just get that launch angle up a little bit. That's going out of the ballpark. It's the only hard hit that he had yesterday. At least it was put in the air. Now, I took him against a lefty yesterday. He really didn't have that great of a day against the lefty. The good news is he's going up against Kyle Gibson, who is an absolute dong machine. He's 37 years old. He came in, just gave up home run after home run after home run. His home run per 9 in 11 innings, 5.4. That is grotesque. That is like basically me pitching to major league hitters with the way that they are hitting off of him. You go to his game log. Now, his first start, yeah, he was disgusting. Gave up 5 home runs. Wasn't much better in his next 2. Still gave up a home run in his next 2. You look at his batted ball statistics, like barrel rate, 14%, barrels, barrel up, 20%, 3 barrels, 2 barrels. The hard hits in the 60s, the launch angle, put in the air. It's exactly what you're looking for a batter to hit a home run. And yeah, CJ Abrams didn't have a great day at the plate yesterday. He's been pretty good overall. Now, he's not like a Wilyer Abreu going to show up in all 3 of the metrics that I look at. But over the last 2 weeks, a respectable 4 barrels, not amazing, not terrible. 21 hard hits is actually very good. And he does come up in one of the metrics that I look at. Maybe it was hits, maybe 100 plus miles an hour hits. CJ Abrams, he's got 15. Tied with a bunch of guys. Like you see, there's a bunch of guys with 15. He's one of them. And then there's a couple guys above him with 16. And it goes from there. But swinging a decently hot bat. And, you know, again, between him and James Wood, I can never get them on the right day. The last 3 times I went with James Wood, maybe it was 2. CJ Abrams hit one. Yesterday I went with Abrams. Wood hit one. Let's hope that I can finally get it just right today. CJ Abrams to hit a home run. I mean, no surprise, plus 10. Extreme advantage. According to Ballpark Pal, this guy, like I said, Kyle Gibson, his favorite thing is to give up home runs. So that is play number 3, CJ Abrams to hit a home run. And then our 4th and final official pick of the video, Brandon Lowe to hit a home run. He is all the way up at plus 700 odds to hit a home run. And that's part of the reason why I took him, was because these odds at plus 700, I think, are crazy. He should be closer to like 400, 500. Another very highly positive expected value play, according to Ballpark Pal, they have him at plus 462. We're getting him all the way up at 700. And looking at Brandon Lowe, you know, he had a pretty prolonged cold stretch. He, like, basically for almost the entire month of April and the first couple weeks of May, he was not good. He's been better recently, and I'm talking recent, like within the last 7 days. So he's not going to come up in any of these metrics like hits above 100 miles an hour over the last 10 games or hot hitters over the last 2 weeks. His hot streak coincides with the last 7 days. Now, this is taking forever load as Fangraphs loves to short circuit. So we'll talk about the pitching matchup. He's going up against Sandy Alcantara. Once an ace, no longer the case. That's what I call these guys. This is going to take forever to load as well. But the thing with Sandy, I think he Cy Young winner, if not, was one of the top voters for the Cy Young, has been disgusting this year. 1.72 home run per 9 is terrible. Barrel rate of over 10% is terrible. Hard hit rate of 50% is not good. Now the launch angle is kind of low. It's not in the teens, which is where it's really bad. But that ground ball rate at 50% is higher than what you would like. But you look at him against lefties, terrible. Five of his 7 home runs allowed to left-handed hitters. The average is lower, but the slugging, WOBA's higher, so that power is what's being hit by left-handed hitters. And that ground ball rate below 50% is a little bit better, but and that pull rate is super high, and that hard hit rate is super high against lefties. And that's exactly what's happening with Brandon Lowe. Now you look at his last 7 games, which I get is a little bit of a smaller sample than I normally look at. 4 barrels is decent. 9 hard hits. It's not amazing. It's decent. Now he's coming off of a 2 home run game a couple days ago. Yesterday didn't have a barrel. He had 1 hard hit. Not amazing, but it's showing a batter that is hotter at the plate. And the thing that I love with Brandon Lowe is he's always been good about hitting the ball in the air and pulling it. 50% fly ball rate, 66% pull rate. And normally I like taking him at home because he gets that short right field porch at the Tampa Bay Stadium. He's actually hit more home runs away in fewer at bats. He's hit more home runs away. Now this is not me saying, oh, he's not a home guy. Just that it's not like he's only been able to hit at the confines of his home stadium, which you do see with some guys. So at plus 700, I absolutely thought he was worth a sprinkle at that price. Again, I put a quarter unit on him to hit a home run. So the 4 guys that we have today, my odds were profit 3.67 units, 19.74% units if you put, or 19.74 units if you put 1, and 7% ROI. I didn't realize that I fudged the numbers at the beginning because I accidentally had one guy counted as 1, so I apologize for that. But anyways, you look at all 4 guys. It's CJ Abrams, it's Wilyer Abreu, Kyle Schwarber, and Brandon Lowe. If one of these guys hits a home run, we're making money. If all 4 of them hit a home run, we're profiting over 5 units, and we are risking about 1.3 units. So a little bit higher risk than what I normally have in terms of units, but it's because we got a half unit big fish over here with Kyle Schwarber. And then in terms of the guys that I looked at but didn't end up taking, Sia Suzuki, I really like. Odds are disgusting, so he's a candidate for the stinky odds. Dong Robin, he hit the ball up and down the field. That's not how you phrase it, but you know what I mean. Smacked around the baseball yesterday. You look at his EV logs. Double, 112. Line out, 107. Double, 105. Now, just get those launch angle up a little bit, my friend. 17, 16, and 17. 3 line drives. Just get one of those up and you're hitting a home run, but really hit the baseball hard. Decent pitching matchup, but we're talking plus 320 odds, plus in the 200s everywhere else. That's gross. Another one, I already can tell you, Aaron Judge comes up on a lot of different metrics, and technically he is positive EV, even at plus 196 at FanDuel, because Ballpark Pal is incredibly high on him at plus 154. So those 2 good candidates for a stinky play. And then Soto, Ballpark Pal doesn't like him. Soto comes up on a lot of metrics. He's plus 320 at FanDuel. So those 3 make a pretty decent stinky odds round robin. Granted, I hate doing guys in the same game because FanDuel, you have to put them separately. It's a whole thing. But all 3 of them look pretty good. And then Rafaela hits the ball really hard. Just hasn't been able to get one over the fence. You look at his EV logs and everything over the last 2 weeks, they're really good. 0 home runs to show for it. McMahon also been hitting well. He actually is a home guy, and that makes sense because he plays at Coors Field. And then Nootbaar is the only one that came up on a lot of different sources, like Nootbaar, 17 hard hit, line drive plus fly balls, 1 below James Wood. We're looking at 100 miles an hour. I think he's in the 15. Yeah, he's tied with a bunch of guys. I mean, there's Schwarber with 15. 40% fly ball rate is very good. And then I think barrels is one where he wasn't there. So I think the barrels is, he wasn't in the top 15 in barrels, but he hit the other 2. The issue with Nootbaar is the odds are weird. Like only 2 books have odds. It's because the pitcher is undetermined. Like yesterday it was listed as Seth Lugo. Today it's listed as this guy Cameron. And you hate taking home runs at Kauffman Stadium. It's not a good home run venue. They got a super deep outfield. So it's good for runs normally, like doubles and stuff. It's terrible for home runs. So that's why I didn't go with Lars. Granted, you're getting a decent price at plus 520, but Ballpark Pal hates it. So 4 official plays for today. Again, if one of these 4 guys hits a home run, we're making money. And then my total profit on the year, just to be straight with it, because I didn't realize I had that messed up at the beginning. 3.67 units of profit, 7% ROI, up 19 units if you blindly put 1 unit on everything. That's all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bet responsibly, and have a good one.